What do you think about Move Home Megan? 601-995-1017. It's Adam and Allison. What's going on, Allison?
She says, hi, Adam and Allison. I regret agreeing to move here. Last year, I moved with my husband and our infant son back to his hometown. He said it would be better for us because he has family here and lots of work opportunities. I don't know a single person here outside of his family, but I've started to meet a few people. Apparently, no one here knew my husband got married or had a child. And he has an ex here that he was with for years that I've never even heard the first thing about. I feel deceived, but I don't know if I should confront him with this information or just wait and see how things turn out. What should I do?
So it sounds to me like the whole ex thing is really what her hang up is, but what she is saying, she's not implying at all that he's communicated with this ex. So what does she care if people from his past know what he's up to now, or if he hasn't, stayed in touch with these people?
I'm sorry. If you make me uproot my life and move back to your hometown because supposedly you know all these people, you have all these connections, blah, 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 and then I get there and nobody knows that I exist, I'm going to be pretty mad. And
so introduce yourself.
No. I mean, do you care about me or no? Is this life all about you and I'm your little sidekick that's just there? Or is this truly a marriage? Is this truly a partnership? So, Megan, I would say, I think there are some really tough conversations that you will need to have with your husband about why he's kept you a secret from people that he supposedly is close to. And I mean, if he's talking to the ex, I think you can ask questions about that. And just depending on how those conversations go, then that's how the relationship is going to go.
I don't know. Megan seems pretty dramatic to me because it's just because he doesn't disclose every single piece of information about his current life to people in his past life, it doesn't mean he's keeping you a secret.
It's not every single piece of information. It's stuff most people put on their freaking Facebook page. You got married, you had a baby. That person wants to be acknowledged as your wife to the other people that are in your life. I don't think that that's nuts. I don't think that that's dramatic. I think that's completely normal.
Oh, you know what? You're right. What a complete animal this guy is for not making every single bit of detail of his life not putting it on Facebook like the rest of us do.
Well, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying if he's going to move back to his hometown, supposedly, that's where his life is. That's everything. All the people, blah, blah, blah. Yet you haven't told a single of those people about me. That's red flags. I am not going to be happy about it. We are going to have a hard conversation, and I'm not sure that the future of that relationship is my future.
Shunda says he might have needed a fresh start. Team Adam, what do you think?
He move back home?
Today, the DM dilemma to me sounds like an exaggerated version of a girl complaining that her boyfriend doesn't post her on his Instagram enough. That, to me, is what it sounds like Megan's complaining about.
Wow.
Megan's new to town, been here about a year or so with her husband, and their kid. This is his hometown, where he's from, and he gets back here, they all get back here, and she finds out none of his past friends know she even exists. And she's upset about it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I totally get it. I feel like, he has made these decisions. He's lived his life according to him and maybe doesn't realize that he's in this 50-50 partnership and that his wife is, just as equal in this as he is. And I feel like MJ brings up a really interesting point because she says, does he have social media? If he doesn't, maybe I could see how the hometown people wouldn't know that he was married and that he doesn't have a kid. But if he just admitted her and their child from his social media, then that's another story.
Well, but what if he's not the type of guy? What if his last post was from 4 years ago before Megan was even a thought and the kid wasn't there? And
but if what you're saying is it all true, if there's any merit to she's the girl who's on social media who can't stand the fact that her boyfriend doesn't post her, she's tagged him and stuff, so it would be on his page. It would be there for the whole world to see if he really had. So he would have to be purposefully going in and saying, nah, I don't want that on there. I don't want people knowing that about me.
Touche, actually. I have nothing else to say. Ryan, you said you had a question for Allison. What is it?
Yeah, the question was, Allison sounds like she thinks that he's ashamed of his wife. But if he was ashamed of her, he never would have moved back to his hometown with his wife and his baby.
Huh, interesting. See, that was sort of the feeling I was getting from Megan as well, that she feels like he's embarrassed of her or something, and she doesn't like that.
I don't feel like he's ashamed of her. I feel like he thinks his life is all about him, and he doesn't realize that they're in a partnership together and that maybe he needs to consider her an equal part of that partnership.
Well, if she was halfway involved in the decision to move here, I don't think that he's trying to hide anything or keep anything from her if he brought her to his hometown with his child. Thanks, man.
Jesse, what is your opinion about the DM dilemma this morning?
I'm with you, Adam. I mean, it's not like the local cashier at the Piggly Wiggly's supposed to know he got married.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't tell everybody. You're probably just only gonna tell family and friends, and people outside of that ain't gonna know. I mean, I did right the opposite. I moved from my hometown. Me and my wife did, and moved, 200 miles away. So we don't know nobody. So we did right the opposite. So we got out of there.
Thank you so much for the call, Jesse. We appreciate you. I don't know. I think the fact that in the initial DM, she brings up the fact that there's this ex-girlfriend that she knew nothing about. I think she is suspicious that he could be wanting to get back with the ex, and it seems like there's absolutely no reason for her to be suspicious of that. It's not crazy that he has an ex-girlfriend who still lives in his hometown because it's his hometown.
I agree that note may be getting a little bit more attention than it deserves, but I think it's because the rest of this is kind of shocking. Like, if I'm with a guy who loves his hometown and wants to move back to his hometown because it's where all his people are, and he drags me over there, and then no one knows that I'm existing, I am going to be livid.
Interesting.